Hello, brothers and sisters. Hey, thanks for joining me again today. Now that Trump has got his historic ceasefire and peace for now in the Middle East between Israel and the Palestinians, well, mostly Hamas, but the people in Palestine, I think, for the vast majority, do support Hamas in their quest to destroy Israel. The next question is, how long will the peace last? And this was only phase one of Trump's plan to bring peace to the area. And it's an ambitious plan, and odds are he won't be able to accomplish it because in 80 years, nobody's been able to accomplish it. I applaud the man for at least trying to save lives and to get the people out there to some kind of peaceful solution of their problem. But I honestly don't think it's possible while the place is run by Hamas and people that sympathize with Hamas who want nothing more than the destruction of the state of Israel. I don't see how peace is possible. And in the UK, when they're allowed to sing from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, and Sadiq Khan says that's not anti-Semitic. We all really know it is, and we all know what it really means. They just really want all Jews gone, which means dead, because they have nowhere to go. With that, I wanted to just remind people about what Hamas was. Hamas carries out public executions just hours after peace treaty signing. What? How can that be? Why would they do that? Let's watch this video first, and then we'll read about it. Appears not to have any sound. And don't mind the cat. So there, you've seen it, folks. Shortly after the video stopped, those people were shot in the back of the head with what appears to be AK-47s. What do you expect? That's what terrorists do. I just want to remind everyone, Hamas is a terrorist organization, and anyone that supports them is supporting terrorism. So anyone chanting from the river to the sea is supporting terrorism. I would make that claim. And if they're in America, and they're not U.S. citizens, that would be good enough for me. I would deport you. If you were just singing from the river to the sea, and I would send ICE around, and if you were in the U.S. and not a citizen, I'd deport you. We have our own knuckleheads. We don't need to import other people's knuckleheads and terrorist supporters. And the UK has actual hate speech laws, which they don't apply in this case because it's unfashionable to apply hate speech laws to brown people or Muslims for some reason. But it's just fine to apply it to white people. I say no. Everyone should get the same standard of justice. No two-tier justice. A lot of these problems would go away if the government would just apply the laws consistently and fairly to everyone. So let's read about this story. Let's see what the justification here is. I'm sure these were all bad people and criminals, right? Let's read more. Hamas carried out mass public executions in Gaza on Monday, gruesome video shows, as the bloodthirsty terror group desperately seeks to maintain control over the Palestinian enclave and punish those it deems collaborators with Israel. Yeah, this is how Hamas retains control. They kill their opponents. There was a big anti-Hamas protest. People had their legs broken and people were beheaded who went to that protest last month. So terrorists actually control the area of Palestine. And as long as terrorists control it, there can be no peace. The barbaric reprisal came just hours after President Trump declared an end of an age of terror and death and signed the document enshrining his 20-point peace plan. Wow, he's got 20 more points to get through. I hope he can. But Hamas has got to go. There's no way it can without it. Even with Hamas starting the violence again, I still applaud Trump's efforts. At least he stopped Israel from killing people, which is good. And he got all the hostages back on the Israeli side and the prisoners on the Palestinian side. So I feel that that is a win, even if these guys go back to their barbaric ways. The graphic footage shows 8 badly beaten, blindfolded men kneeling in the street before. Each is shot dead by Hamas gunmen in front of a cheering crowd. That's right, because if you don't cheer, you might be shot next. And then some of you do actually support Hamas. The terror group said, without providing evidence, that the killings targeted criminals and collaborators with Israel, the BBC reported. So perhaps you in the UK and the US have seen this. Let me know in the comments if this is a big story. Among those killed were Ahmed Zidan al-Tarbin, reportedly responsible for recruiting agents to a rival Hamas-aligned militia. Okay, yeah. So they're just killing their enemies. Anyone who's not 100% aligned with them, they're just going out and shooting them and saying they're criminals and collaborators. Following the IDF's withdrawal, Hamas has quickly looked to reassert its control over Gaza, targeting the clans of family-based armed groups that had gained strength during the conflict. The Palestinian terror group began its deadly reprisals before the peace deal was even signed. On Sunday, 52 members of the powerful Dagmush clan were killed in clashes with Hamas internal security forces, while 12 Hamas terrorists, including the son of a senior official Bassam Naim, also died, according to reports in Gaza. So, see, it's really just gang warfare and clan warfare for control, and we'll see which warlord ends up winning. Hamas militants reportedly used ambulances to storm the neighborhood of the clan, whom they accused of collaboration with Israel. It's a massacre. They're dragging people away. Children are screaming and dying. They're burning our houses. What did we do wrong? One clan member's daughter told Ynet News. Earlier on Monday, President Trump suggested he had given Hamas approval to manage internal security in Gaza as it sees fit as part of a peace deal to return the remaining living hostages to Israel. They do want to stop the problems, and they've been open about it. We gave them approval for a period of time, he told the reporters on Air Force One. He knew this was going to happen, but it was worth it to stop Israel and Hamas from fighting directly and for the hostages and prisoners to be returned. But the bloodshed isn't over. Hamas are terrorists and they're cleaning house and reasserting control, 100%. You have close to 2 million people going back to buildings that have been demolished, and a lot of bad things can happen. So we want it to be safe. I think it's going to be fine. Who knows for sure? However, Trump vowed Tuesday that we will disarm Hamas if the group did not lay down its weapons pursuant to his 20-point peace plan. All right, so he gave them temporarily they could keep their weapons. We'll see what the next steps are. Well, they're going to disarm because they said they're going to disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. Okay? Trump told journalists while visiting Argentine President Javier Milei, I don't have to explain to you, but if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. They know I'm not playing games, okay? Under Trump's peace plan, Hamas was expected to disarm and surrender governors of Gaza, something the terror group has refused to do. So we'll see if Trump's pressure campaign can force them to really disarm and have real elections. I doubt it. The U.S. has not been good at nation building, and we really should stay out of the Middle East and the UK too, and let them sort it out themselves. And I understand the problem. The problem for me is there are actually more Jews living in the U.S. than there are living in Israel. So because of that, politically, the U.S. has to help Israel. And so we're dragged into this mess that really we shouldn't be. In America and the West, we should just let Israel and Hamas have at it on their own without our help or interference at all. But we've chosen to interfere for the last 80 years, and it's gone on for 80 years. So something does need to change. We'll see what Trump's peace plan does. But what I wanted to do here was remind everyone the brutality isn't over, and Hamas are not nice people. They are terrorists. And anyone who is going around supporting the Palestinian movement, you are supporting terrorists. 100%. The terrorists have their boots on the necks of everyone in Palestine. So you really should be cheering to get rid of Hamas, because that's really the only way there will be peace in the Middle East. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe if you do. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Thanks. Bye.